Hey guys, and welcome back. Well, I tell you, Monique was on the Shay Shay Club Shay Shay Shannon Sharp show, and she did Cat Williams. She a lot of A-listers she called out, and one of them that she called out was DL Hughley, and that particular person is not in the news like all the rest of them, but hey, when she called DL Hughley out, it struck a nerve, and he got on Twitter and he says that Monique is a motherfucking liar. Now that's what he said. Okay, it all started. She talked about DL Hughley, said that she went on his radio show. He was not there. Said she was having a great time with Jasmine, his co-host, and everything. And at the end, they asked her, did she want to play Would You Rather? And the question that they asked her, would she rather her husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom, or he sleeps with Superhead without a condom? And she said that she was floored. She was just insulted and everything. And she said that she called DL to tell him about this and how she felt about them asking her this, and said that he was dismissive. First of all, he answered the phone, yeah, and he told her, well, that's just the way it is, when she told him what they asked her and everything. And and then she brought up I've heard this before. She brought up they were on the ticket together, and she was supposed to be the star of the show. And she said that DL was saying that he was the star of the show, and he had a memo saying he was the star. And she said she had a contract saying she was the star. You probably heard this before. And this is what she said about DL. So DL, he didn't let the sun go down before he responded to her. And he says, no. He said the situation about the radio is after she did the interview on the radio, she did call him and told how she was upset and how she felt, and he pulled the script. It never showed. It never showed. He said, if I was so dismissive as she said I was, I would have let that ran. He said, but no, I listened to her and I pulled the script. I did not let it go on the air. And furthermore, about him being the headliner, he was the headliner. He said that Monique knows that he's the headliner. Said that Monique is messy. He said that, and someone who does as many crunches as her, how come she don't lose weight? He said the only crunch she do is with a captain in front of it. Captain Crunch, the cereal. Okay. But anyway, I thought that was cute. But he says that Monique is messy. So that's all she do is talk about people. So one thing you will never see Monique do is tell jokes. And he said that, her last stand-up, which was the Netflix special, it was the worst comedy special that Netflix has ever had. She also said that if you pull up old footage of DL, he's talking about her. He always talks about her. And that DL said she was lying on that. DL said he wants you to pull up old scripts and you will find that Monique is lying. He said Monique talked about his dog, his wife, said she even talked about his daughter, brought up the fact that my daughter was molested and said that I let her be molested, and right in front of him that he let his daughter be molested. He said that was just awful, and said his whole family got on Monique about that. That was just wrong. But he says that Monique is always talking about, and he says she's always talking about her babies. And he says one thing you won't see is her babies. She's always talking about her family, but you never see her with her family. Never. He said because her family don't F with her. Said the family don't have anything to do with her because she's messy. Yeah, DL, he just went on. He said that, he didn't stop there. He says she's a fucking liar. She's an MF liar. He says she's just a liar. And that's all she does is talk about people. So, guys, I mean, DL did not let the sun go down on this. He says, no. That's all she did was lie. And all you hear her talk about is daddy. He said, yeah, daddy. He said, but she has to pay daddy. Because daddy is, quote, her husband, and her husband is her manager. So he said, hey, rule of thumb is daughters don't have to pay their daddies. The daddies pay the daughters. But he was pissed. He was pissed, and it was no bars hold. I mean, so I know Monique is gonna have to say something. I know she's gonna be babies and sugar and baby. You know how she do. So I got the, you heard it here. DL, he says she's flat a liar. And we're going to hear from Monique. We're going to see what she says. She talked about some other folks. I'm going to talk about that. But I just had to let you hear about this with DL because DL is furious. All right, guys. You know what the question is now. What y'all think?